I think the Yankees right now are a crappy team and a crappy organization. They got to figure out what they're doing with their manager, and they're going to have to figure out what they're doing with their GM. It doesn't matter what's going to happen when they play the Red Sox in a couple of days or a week from now, because the Yankees shouldn't make the playoffs. The Boston Red Sox have been the better team in the American League, East. The Yankees have not been a very good team, really, 2 weeks before the All-Star break, and they've been horrible since then. The only player that's actually hitting and playing good baseball for the New York Yankees is Bellinger. He's the only one. The team stinks. How many times do I have to tell you guys? We could go over and over and over and over again about the New York Yankees. Aaron Boone is as good as gone. As good as gone. And Brian Cashman, don't be surprised if he steps down at the end of the season. This team is in the gutter right now. There's nothing good about this team. And Aaron Judge throwing the ball or being an automatic DH, it's not going to make a difference. They're not making the playoffs. They're not good. So it doesn't matter if they're playing the Red Sox. It doesn't matter if they're playing Seattle. It doesn't matter if they're playing the New York frigging Mets. The Yankees stink. Game over. Put a cork in them.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you look at Aaron Judge and you were saying, all right, how long are they going to need him to DH? And we were thinking it was going to be only like a 10-day period. Aaron Boone thought it even could have been earlier than that. This kind of report definitely screams a lot more alarming if he's not going to be able to throw properly at all. Nevertheless, the range in the outfield, but from any spot in the outfield, throwing it deep. Judge has always had a good arm throughout his career, too. And now you're going to have him DH more. That hurts the fact that the Yankees have built up so many other outfield DH types, and it's just really not good for the Yankees' identity right now.
Yeah, and I think you got to be on the same page. You don't, obviously coming from Judge, it's a little bit different than coming from everybody else. And it wasn't good. Boone kind of backed off on it, whatever. But obviously it was said, so people are going to look into it and see what it is. But yeah, if he's saying that, it's not good, and everybody's not on the same page.
Jordan was really not liked by any of the players on the team, but they won ball games. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. When he went and he practiced, everybody was expected to play at the top of their game. It didn't matter if it was a practice or an NBA game. He expected you to play at your full talent. When you look at this Ketel story and all this other stuff, if Ketel's going out there and throwing players under the bus and not getting along with teammates, you got to get rid of him. Now, he's going out there and he's saying the things that he has said over the last couple of seasons or last couple of weeks, and he hasn't played well and he couldn't stay healthy and all this other stuff, and then he's having problems over there during the All-Star break, and then he comes back and they're not winning. Obviously, there's a specific situation right now that is not working out. Players do not want to play for him, and the team just doesn't want to stand behind him. So obviously there's a big problem over there.
Yeah, you wonder if that's something that could have hurt trade deadline value too, because it looked like the Diamondbacks were trying to go for big swings with him, especially since he's been an MVP finalist each of the last 2 years. And I was advocating for it to be a big move if the Yankees made a big swing, or one of these American League teams, the Guardians, that were going for a big swing on offense. I think that could have been a player they're doing. Maybe teams and front offices were alarmed by the way he was as a leader, as a culture guy for that Diamondbacks team. Because 2 years ago, they were in the World Series. It looked like he was resurrecting his career on the top of the world, and now all of a sudden it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, with Ketel and all the things that happened, it's he's a personality. He's gone through a lot this year, so I think it all just kind of came to a head, and it just was one of those things where just added fuel to the fire, and sometimes you just need to check yourself and have a self-talk, and just being a leader, it's a little different, and much more is required. So now it's water under the bridge. Move on, keep going, keep it moving.
Time will tell when it comes to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is not a good playoff team. They have proven that they're not a good playoff team. They don't show up in the playoffs. We know what the Mets did to them last year. They were a pretty good team last year. And then you remember somebody named the Polar Bear slaps a 3-run home run in the later innings and wins the game and knocks them out. So only time will tell. I don't know if Milwaukee's the real deal until they get out of the first round. Well, it's not going to be a wild card because they're going to win the National League. But whatever they do in the divisional series is going to be my thoughts of what they could do in the National League Championship.
Yeah, it's a very 2021 Giants feel that I kind of have with them too, because there's some advanced metrics when it comes to power, when it comes to extra base hits, that the Brewers' offense has not been great at. So I'm still a little concerned about that, even amidst all that. They scream really good on paper, but it's like one of those teams where are they really as good as that down the road in that playoff identity? Like Errol was saying too, the Brewers have not won a playoff series since 2018 when they went to the NLCS. and lost a tight one to the Dodgers, lost a 7-game series. So can they find that playoff identity? Again, will be another question. But like Corey Hart was saying yesterday, they're a really well-run organization and deserve a lot more respect for the kind of factory they've put together as a lower market team.
Yeah, and you add Brandon Woodruff, who'd almost been out 2 years, and coming back from serious stuff, and doing what he's done since he's come back from injury. That's a huge piece to what they're going to do. And I think they have the pieces, but yeah, it's just when it gets to nut cutting time in the playoffs, they fall a little short time in and time out. So adding an arm like that, I think does help. They got some guys that want to prove some stuff in the postseason. So time will tell.
I'll just say this before we move on. I love 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 Terang. Terang's like one of these guys is my sleeper in fantasy this year. That guy, I'm going to give him the nickname that no one's given him yet, the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸.
Nice.
There we go, the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸